What's your what house would you be sorted into at Hogwarts? Do you know? I can guess.
Hey, Cody, the fact that you think I read those books,
buddy, you don't need to have read them. I can tell you right now who you are.
I've never even seen the movie.
I'll give you right. You're a Hufflepuff. See?
Just shut up, Stan.
Who's a Hufflepuff?
Fully Loaded at Sea is back. Come party on the open ocean with me, Whitney Cummings, Big J. Okerson, Felipe Esparza, Miss Pat, Joe DeRosa, and so many more November 19th through the 23rd, 2026. Live comedy sets, live podcast recordings, karaoke held by none other than my wife, Leanne Kreischer. It's going to be bigger, boozier, and birdier than ever. Cabins are on sale now at BertKreischerCruise.com.
You really, what a space you've got here. This is a great idea. Everything films here, huh?
Yeah, but you know what though? It's like almost like the analogy would be like building a home gym. Mm-hmm. You have to use it if you have it.
Yeah.
And I'm working way too much. I'm working like.
That's just the style of Bert, though, right?
Yeah, I think I have a little bit of a workaholic in me.
I was going to ask a super deep question that I have to ask myself often, because the other day I was telling somebody, I was like, I need to work. Just let's add some dates on there. I need to work. But then the person hit me with, well, what are you running from? And it was like, what? No, I just needed to work. It wasn't that deep. And then I started thinking, what am I running?
I think it's, I know for a fact if I don't work, I start drinking in the afternoon.
Oh.
I just go, well, what am I doing? What are we doing here?
I feel like me and you are due for, we never really had a good drink out. We had drinks. We never had a really good.
You never got, you're always, well, we have one night when we FaceTime Chappelle with Snoop.
You were just a FaceTime master. I loved it. You just went right in. If you went to FaceTime somebody, you know?
It was a good FaceTime though.
Snoop's pretty good about picking up on the FaceTime.
Yeah.
Shockingly, for someone you think like Snoop's never going to pick up. It's usually like first ring. Like there's just him. Like, hey man, like, yeah, he's good about it.
Yeah. Snoop's, I haven't talked to Snoop in a while. The last time I saw Snoop, I was at a party and he was at the party and I was like, oh, I'm going to go say hi. And everyone's like, you can't just go say hi to Snoop Dogg.
You can.
I was like, yeah, you can. Yeah, if you know him, you can.
That's my guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing that Kevin Hart said about Jeff Bezos? He had this really fun outlook on.
Are you recording, Halston? Great.
He just had this really fun outlook on. Everyone was like, you don't need to go say hi to him. He's like, no, I want to say hi to him.
Yeah.
It's an interesting person.
Well,
I want to know him. And like the way he put it was, I'm not trying to be too cool for that. I'm going to go say hi to him. It was just an interesting outlook.
Kevin Hart was the first person I ever met that had ambition. And stand-up ambition's frowned upon.
Yeah.
It's better to be the stoner who just, like
lucks his way into it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I was looking at analogies last night of wrestling and stand-up, and I was thinking you can be like, you have to have the je ne sais quoi about you to get over as a wrestler. Mm-hmm. You can't, there's very few, and I think what was Daniel, what's his name, was one.
Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan was one who kind of was just a worker and and then they fell in love with him. But as a comedian, you cannot have the thing and still be a huge comedian.
Yeah.
But in wrestling, it's a weird thing. And I think now, wrestling is more important today in media, in the media landscape. The things you learn in wrestling, conversations we had about just heels and baby faces and getting put over and all of that is kind of the media landscape in general these days.
I was talking last night with somebody about The Job, and my dad was always he'd always like to remind you to humble the job down a little bit, and he'd break it down and be like, hey, it's not rocket science here. But he also looked at it the same way I look at it, where the service of pro wrestling, which is the service of entertainment, I feel is very important in this current, just generally divided society. And you want to do something that everyone enjoys. And I don't know, I felt more of a responsibility to it than ever in terms of our storytelling. You're talking about it being important. When wrestling is really, really good, storytelling is absurdly nuanced. It's absurdly sophisticated. Now, when it's really bad, it's the wrestling you think of. It's like, okay, yeah. But when it's really good, it can yank at the heartstrings in a way that makes you a fan forever. You might fall out, you might come back, you might always go to WrestleMania, whatever it is. But I always looked at it, and we talked about this when I felt like I was 20 years old when I met you. It wasn't that long ago, but
I really am bummed that I didn't understand the journey I was about to witness.
I mean, how would we know? We were there for something special.
Yeah.
But everyone's journey on that. I'm honored to have shared that stage, as silly and funky as a show as Go Big Show was. Everyone had a journey that they were essentially about to undertake, or in the beginning of, it just started. And me, I was in the foreplay preliminary, talking about moves that would be, the moves I'd already made were ridiculous, absurd, and disruptor type moves. But now I'm talking about moves that, I'm going to flip it on its script again. The stuff sounded just so hypothetical. It sounded so, well, what if? And then the what if became, we're actually going to do that. That we're going forward with that. We're going to go back to WWE. And just, I had such good, you know this, and I don't mean this in kiss your butt type way, but this is sincere. I learned a great deal from speaking with you, a great deal from speaking with Snoop, and a great deal from speaking with Rosario and Jennifer, I would have gotten something too, but I never burdened her with hey, just so you know, off in between takes here, here's what's going on in my life right now. Here's who's texting. Here's who I'm talking to. Here's what I'm thinking about doing. Here's where I'm at. But I got such good perspectives and they were all based in your own worlds. Hers was TV and film, and yours was comedy, and Snoop's was music. It just, you learn a lot about wrestling when we really weren't talking about wrestling. It was more about the moves to be made, but yeah, there's a lot left of the journey, I think.
It's so bizarre to me when you look at. So if anyone doesn't know, we're talking about a show that you didn't watch. It's called,
look at us though.
It's called the Go Big Show. It was everyone who didn't make it on America's Got Talent. This was their second shot.
Are they?
We laughed. We laughed because, it is a talent show, really, in essence. And there were some that were so amazingly talented.
Well, so Go Big Show. I want to kind of back everyone up who's now caught us mid-conversation here, in a sense that while we were filming this, I was at AEW and I was the executive vice president of another wrestling company, which I helped start.
Yes.
And in the midst of it, I was going through, I guess, a crisis of...
That's the second season.
That's the second season.
In the first season, we were watching you run AEW.
So I was doing AEW. I had my feed on my iPad watching the show. I was talking to people we were trying to produce while we were there and filming Go Big Show. But the second season, we entered a bit of, I guess, crisis mode.
Yeah.
Where it started, hey, I'm talking to such and such. And it's just,
I remember being like, I've never given great advice. and I remember I used to do these walks. I used to walk the big parking lot. We worked at the Macon Coliseum.
Yep.
And I used to walk the parking lot where all the people that worked at the hospital. I'd walk. It was like a seventh of a mile walk, and I'd just walk it all day because we were in quarantine.
Yeah.
And I remember you were standing outside by Snoop's Snoop used to keep a basketball net court, but that's where I remember you being. And you were like kind of confused. And I was like, what's going on, Cody? And you were like, I just got a text from Vince McMahon. And I was like, huh? You're like, I think he's flying down here to talk to me. Oh my God. Yeah. And you were really like, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And I was like, well, you don't want to leave AEW, you built it from the bottom up. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. It was, we followed up on it. It felt like every day you'd get a little, what's going on with that? We get a little, and then we all kind of figured it out in terms of, again, it was more of an individual journey and less to do with I had a lot of respect and love for the place I helped start. And then I had maybe something that I was unfinished and expanding. And what does expanding look like? But I do love the fact that you bring up Go Big Show being the leftovers perhaps from America's Got Talent, different shows. There were some of the greatest moments of my life were watching people who we were told were talented at something and were ready for it. And it often fell into the category of sharpshooters. And these sharpshooters the one from season 1 who missed every shot.
That's the hardest. That's the hardest I've laughed. And I'm hosting, so I'm on the floor with said talent, and they're like, I don't want to call her out. I don't want to call her out by name. It's
there's
pretty
two.
easy.
There's Callie. There's Callie, who was the football thrower.
And they're like, dude, have you seen this girl? And we're like, no. And they're like, check this out. First of all, she's gorgeous. And then they're like, she threw to Tom Brady. She threw to Gronk. She is flawless. And we're
trick
watching
shots all over Instagram.
She throws it and hits a baby in a car driving down the street at 90 miles an hour. I mean, it's amazing. She gets out there. And
sorry.
I mean, we ran out of footballs. She couldn't hit the wall.
I think my favorite thing about all sharpshooters, whether that was archery, whether that was gunfire, whether that was this situation with the football throwing, she explaining it to us. But I think my favorite thing was unbeknownst to the viewer, they would get a second pass at it.
Yes.
If their first pass didn't go right.
Yes.
And the second pass so that we could put some stuff in the B-roll and the cut, and like they made it. But buddy. That one was a hard one when it got to me to judge.
Yeah, because you almost had to use your imagination of what the viewer might see.
What they might have seen that one shot, because I remember she got the big one. She did the one that she was trying to do, but the other 8 in the lead up we didn't get. And I just never laughed harder than there's one person who, when he got to Snoop, I just remember Snoop telling him, well, you missed every shot. And and I thought, here we are in this bubble. We're locked up. I remember the big message from Conrad and hey, we're going to be positive. Yeah. We're not going to be negative about this. But then there were the times where it's like, yeah, I get that we're being positive. And I had an earpiece because I wanted to wear an earpiece and get some feed from the production. I remember thinking, it's just, I wish they had run that show.
Yes.
That show where it's, hey, some talented people, some nervous people, some people who tricked their way here via social media and now are, firing live rounds 20 feet across from us and not hitting the target. It was so, but there's also this, the funniest part to me was that I had the earpiece into the booth. So I could, when I had 2 feeds, I had to the production booth and then to Conrad. Yeah. So I had the director telling me what to do, but then I had the Conrad, and God loves Snoop. Snoop would find someone to root for, and then he would rally the troops, Rosario and Jen, and be like, I think we got to vote for this person. And that person may have not performed or did not have a second act. They were going to do the same thing. I'm going to light myself on fire again. Yeah. And Conrad, I'd hear him screaming in the thing, oh no, Snoop, you can't vote for him. He doesn't have another one to do. Oh my God. Yeah, because they didn't have a third act.
They didn't have a third act.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, some people had one trick.
That was it.
Like if you could light yourself on fire, you were going to light yourself on fire again.
It's probably important to point out that while we rooted for a lot of people that were maybe middle range, we definitely cut a lot of people who were so talented.
So talented.
And then I still follow them on social today. I think one of Bethany, who was a horse rider with her husband.
She was fucking incredible.
And she had a third act that apparently was going to wow the whole place. And of course, she didn't make it to the final.
To get into the weeds, this would have made Conrad crazy. So they would tell them what they could do. And Conrad's like, well, obviously, you're not going to jump over 3 exploding cars until the finale. So let's save that. Let's do something small. And Snoop would be like, I don't know, it sucks. He's like, we've already bought the cars.
She was amazing, but we didn't see the big where she was hanging upside down essentially on the horse, which amazing. There was, I think it's Arissa, who was the foot archer, Grace, Curtis.
It's crazy that you remember everyone.
Oh, I remember
Curtis
a lot because you did this trick.
Curtis
is still out there, Nitro Circus.
I think he's dating.
Their date, that love was found on the Go Big Show set. I hope that's still a thing. But that was. Yeah, we weren't good about judging what people's third act might be. And then I remember there being some frustration as we would leave. Because also, if people don't know this, a real game show, standards and practices, you have to genuinely score. The prize money's real. And once it's done, it's done. You can't go back. We definitely, we were a problem. We were a problem.
That was, and what's so funny is that even like in season 2, T-Pain was on this rebuilding his career move, and now he's headlining Stagecoach.
Yeah.
And you know, he's such a unique dude, and he's so, and I mean this with absolute love, authentically goofy.
Oh, T-Pain's
like he's just he really is a little bit of a nerd.
Have you seen the acapella sets he's been doing?
No.
Him just singing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Like Tennessee whiskey and just bringing the house down at these places. So where I live in Roswell, Georgia, you know, every place.
He lives right there,
he's
too.
He's the king of Roswell, Georgia.
Yeah.
So if they ever meet someone who's on TV, no matter what you do, no matter, you could be a sports broadcaster, a pro wrestler, R&B, whatever, no matter what you do, the first thing they'll be like, I know T-Pain. He comes in the store a lot. Like Canton Street in Roswell, Georgia is our old downtown, and it actually very functions. There's great restaurants. There's my wife has a store there. But T-Pain is the seal of approval. If T-Pain's visited in his little souped up golf cart or whatever he has driving around, but yeah, he's the king of Roswell, Georgia.
He does a bit on my TV show.
Yeah,
and we sent it to him, and you know, sometimes with talent, with like musicians or athletes, you'll send them a script, but then you'll know full well we're going to have to maneuver the script around because they're not going to be on book. He was on book for the whole fucking thing. He drove the entire scene, and he was
nice.
He was so good that I didn't even look at the script because I was like, we're not going to need. And it was me, him, and Pac-Man Jones, and T-Pain drove the entire scene. The scene works because of Pain.
Yeah,
he's fucking. Have you done this podcast yet?
No,
you have to.
We keep kind of like ships in the night on it. I haven't been able to do it yet. I really want to as well because we share a couple people on our team too. I got to get together with T-Pain.
God,
what a dude.
While shopping for everyone else this season, don't forget to gift yourself a great night's rest with a new Helix. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the U.S. Helix is not just the best mattress in the world, and that is coming from me, Bert Kreischer, who will only sleep on a Helix. It is the most awarded mattress brand, tested and reviewed by experts like Forbes and Wired, and they rock. You take that 2-minute sleep quiz. It tells you what mattress you should sleep on. I have I forget which one I have. I think I have the Midnight Lux for a side sleeper. I'm a side sleeper. And I'll tell you what, the gangster move I did as a dad is I sent my girls Helix mattresses. I knew what kind of Helix mattress they had at home, sent it to them at college, and they sleep awesome. Isla is a Moonlight Lux, and Georgia's a Moonlight Lux. Here's what you do. If you want to have the best night of your sleep of your life, change your life today. Why not sleep better? Why not sleep better? I want you to go to bed tonight and go, was that good? Wake up tomorrow and go, could it have been better? I bet it could have been. I bet it could have been. And I can help make you go to be better. Go to helixsleep.com/Bert for 27% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/Bert for 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name into the post-purchase survey so that they know that we sent you. helixsleep.com/Bert. Guys, enter the room dick first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk or a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And they work. They genuinely work. They genuinely work. Take one at like 4 p.m. Let it kick in. Kind of edge yourself into the evening. A little cocktail, hot tub, cigar. Next thing you know, you're in bed bringing thunder. I'm talking thunder. These are like high school erections. It's not just about performance, gentlemen. It's about legacy, or rather third legacy. Give her group chat something to talk about, and you know, if and when you do lay it down, they're talking about how it got up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we've got a special deal for our listeners, as always. And this is a absolute no-brainer. You get your first month of Blue Chew for free. That's it. Just use promo code Bertcast at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring this podcast. I was telling someone the other day that there was the, Do you remember during the pandemic, we were all in the pandemic, you'd meet a girl and she'd have a mask on. You'd be like, gosh, she's beautiful. And then she'd drop her mask and be like, oh, what happened?
So I actually know exactly what you're talking about because on the set of Go Big Show, you were really big on, I think I one time watched you go like that, like, it's no good. It's no.
I know who you're talking about.
I think I watched you from the set. Was she like maybe one of the PAs or something? But I remember you going like,
I'd be like, oh, you gotta take your mask off.
Like, what a time though. You could get away. Everyone looked different.
Gorgeous. I spent so much time with her. I was like, she is beautiful. And then someone was like, you gotta get her to take her mask off.
Hats off to that production we were running a full COVID bubble with testing, multiple testing. But here was the thing that I always found funny because you walked that parking lot, Macon Coliseum, Macon Centriplex. I would do the same thing in that parking lot. Georgia was not locked down.
No.
So you'd essentially see across the street normal life happening. Yeah. But whereas we could not leave, we had the zones, the green zone, the red zone. They put your food outside your door like it was a prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember too, you weren't you weren't eating the fruit.
No.
Because one time I remember looking outside and it was stacked all the way to the doorknob. And I'm thinking, I was like, I don't think he's getting the fruit, guys. Like, and they had the giant trash bags by the elevators.
Yeah.
I feel like our bubble was actually probably less healthy than just saying, hey, please wear a mask to set and keep a little distance with each other. You know what it means?
I think I got COVID on that final episode of the last season. I'm almost certain I got COVID. We had our rap party 2 days before we actually rapped. And I was like, this is not a great idea. And we did karaoke. So we all shared a mic. Yeah. That was the first time I saw Payne sing a cappella.
Oh,
he
man.
did
Talented dude.
Gathered in their mass. What? War Pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. So wait, can you talk at all about the movie you just got done filming?
Oh man, it's what an experience.
Who was your executive producer?
Cale from Legendary. You know Cale? Yeah. Do we know Cale here?
Oh.
And Jay? Do we know them?
I know Cale.
Yeah.
Cale is one of my favorite human beings alive.
Oh, I love that. There's synergy.
Cale's the reason we made the machine.
Yeah.
I walked in and I met with Cale and he's like, oh, you get to make a movie. What movie you want to make? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I pitched him 3 and he goes, okay, we'll make one. What do you want to make? And
such a different type of vibe in those general meetings.
And he goes, and I said, well, I think if I was going to make a movie, I'd make The Machine. And he goes, why didn't you pitch it? And I was like, I don't know.
He did something really special so the cast was Street Fighter, Koji, who's Ryu, Noah is Ken, Kalina is Chun-Li, the 3 main characters of the Street Fighter game. They were there early. They were really looking into everything, breaking down these scenes, this is fun action comedy, but taking it incredibly seriously. And when the rest of us got there, and that's, 50 Cent's going to be Balrog, and Andrew Schultz, whose performance is unbelievable as Dan Hibiki, which is Street Fighter's joke character. All of us get there, myself, Roman Reigns, we're all from outside worlds and coming in and I guess a little bit leaders in our field, whatever, but he had us all sit down, at least when I was there, the group I was with, and we watched a sizzle reel of edit they had already made. And I felt like I was on a little league sports team. The way he was leading it felt like that's my coach. And Katao, the director, that's my coach. And they're asking us, hey, look at what we've made in 3 weeks. Step up, guys. It was just I felt like I was ready to run through a brick wall. I was being on that set I've been telling people, it made me a better pro wrestler to see how they tell their stories. And they weren't getting away with, hey, this is who it is. Just put him in the costume and have him stand there. No, off days, you went in for a rehearsal. The fights, his name's JV, who's stunt team there in Sydney. Those fights, it started to feel like, are we fighting anybody for real? Are we, because these are intense, like you up again, go again, just a really a wild situation. There's the whole cast there on the right. I was testing out a good joke about Street Fighter. You know me, not great with my jokes. I don't have the comedian bone in me. But I asked everybody, I said, what are Street Fighters like in their burgers? And you wait, and then I deliver the big punchline, which was Zang beef, and nobody popped. We have gotten not the director, not Cale. So I'm going to try it out on the press tour. See how far I get with it.
When does this come out?
October 16th next year.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
We're going to, I'm hoping we do a full world tour. I mean, look at the crew. Eric Andre.
That's a crazy,
David as Bison.
That's a crazy cast.
There's not just 2 wrestlers, there's 3. In the bottom left, that's Goto from New Japan Pro Wrestling, who plays E Honda. And of course they did it authentically, spoke full as Japanese. So they spoke Japanese. It's a good time. I had a good time. And a lot of us were going on days we weren't shooting just to see it and feel it. Noah, who plays Ken, just great leaders on set. I felt it reminded me a lot of.
Budget on this had to be like $100 million.
Yeah. It was, and I'd never been on big budget in terms of. Yeah. And to walk into one of the big centerpieces of like the middle of the movie, where you pretty much get all of the Street Fighters together for the first time, it felt like it was as real as anything you'd ever walked into. Just unbelievable. And to be on wires, I'd never been on wires. Whoa. Yeah, because I again, wrestler, they're going to think, oh, he can do some of this stuff. And then you're like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. But I really, the Giles flash kick, I wanted to take if it's in that movie, I wanted to get a shot at the flash kick. And I'd watched Van Damme do it from the old school Street Fighter. And I think Van Damme was off wires, literally just that good. But I wanted to get the flash kick in there. And there it is, full rotation. But I'd never been on wires. That the whole experience was really, really unique. Yeah,
stage fighting is very similar stage fighting to wrestling.
I thought I told you the story about my first ever stunt.
No.
Oh man, this is bad news. So I did Arrow. Stephen Amell and me are buddies, and I was a guest on Arrow. And I got there, and sometimes when you're kind of faking it till you make it. Like you get there and your part, you've got your 3 lines, whatever it is, not carrying a great deal of weight dialogue wise. But my first day on set on Arrow, I was the last shot of the day, which was 1 a.m. None of the principal cast is there really anymore. And I didn't go to set. I just sat in my trailer waiting, and then they come and get me, which was the mistake I made. Should have gone to set, should have seen second team, should have seen what they were doing, but I didn't know. It's a new world for me. So I go to set. And it's a street, it's an alley. And there's all these goons, my goons, who are going to follow me this is when I got pretty good at it, but they're going to follow me in the alley. And then I just go up to a cop, I punch him right across the face, and I go up the stairs. So I get to the set, and the director goes, here's the shot. It's the last shot. You're just going to walk straight. They'll join you about 6 feet behind you. They're going to keep that pace from you, okay? Get to that cop, 1 shot right across the face, head up those stairs, look back at them, snarl, close the door, we're done. Good? Yeah, well, good. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Like at some point, it should have gone off for me. Tell them you don't know what you're doing. Tell them you don't know what you're doing. It's good. Good. So anyways, I'm heading across. He literally goes right off set. These people wanted to get out of there. This is the last shot of the day. They call action. I'm walking. I see that cop, and I'm thinking, well, wrestling, I'd punch him in the forehead. Right? Stunt fighting, I'm not sure, but wrestling, I'd just give him a little sugar on the forehead, which is absolutely not what you would be doing in a stunt fight situation where all you have to do is cross the frame. That's it. Yeah. They're not even shooting that close, just across his face, nowhere even near him. So I panicked right as I got to him, and I'm sweating and I'm nervous, but I'm not going to blow this shot. So I grabbed him on the back of the head like I was Macho Man Randy Savage, and I did this big wind up, and I just went boom right on his head, and this cop hat falls over. He crumbles to my feet. Clearly, this is a bad take. I kept walking up the steps like, he's good, we got it. And you hear people rushing on set. It was a whole deal. And the next thing you know, they're like, hey, no, you don't. You just do this. You just cross the frame. So the point is, they're so vastly different.
Yes.
And I always like to let the team know. That team in Australia was amazing. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Please show me.
That's interesting. I think they get you on there and be like, there's little grooming we have to do for this.
Big time. It's okay. Like, one thing that is similar, I'm okay if we get rough.
Yeah.
If we get rough in there, no big deal. If I fall down, you don't need to put 85 pads on me and I'm never leaving my feet. I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? But the actual concept of where these punches are going, there's contact in pro wrestling, maybe minimal contact, but there's contact. This whole different ball game. So it was fun to see their discipline and how they treated me. And they were really good. You think sometimes you get guys who are like, here's this pro wrestler and here's all these actual unbelievable martial artists. They were great though. They were a good team.
Yeah, I said the same thing when I went into to stage fighting, I was like, I can do it all.
Yeah.
And but the choreography of a fight, it would lose me. I'd forget. And I would also, and this is a real treat for anyone that makes a movie with me when I fight, I make the sound effects when I fight.
Oh my gosh, that's very wrestler of you. Whoosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Cale will be like, no, stop.
And you're not even doing it as a joke.
No.
You're doing it.
I was doing it. And Cale's like, no one does that in a fight. No one makes the noises.
Well,
take your thumb out of your fist. I was horrible.
Well, if you watch any of my matches ever, you'll not be able to unsee it. I make noise.
Do you?
Oh, when I throw a clothesline, I'll remind myself if we're in a longer match in the deeper waters, like stop. But old school wrestlers, Hulk Hogan's a good example of this. Gosh, all the good ones, the noise being made, if I grabbed you on the trap and like the ice pick and you gave me this, the noise was actually necessary for the breathing. So there's a whole, you'll hear Chris Jericho tells this good story about Hogan when he'd Hulk up, he'd talk to himself. Hulk up, brother, Hulk up, brother, Hulk up, brother. That's a way to remind yourself actually to breathe. In the 80s, you heard a lot of has, almost where it sounds like they're saying hot sauce.
Yeah.
But that is literally just a reminder, because that's the number one thing new wrestlers don't do, especially if they're all jacked up, is they forget to breathe. And then you get hard gassed out there. And when you're dealing with somebody who has no lungs and then you have to pick them up, that it's just, then you're counting on them to pick you up and carry you safely. It's the noise is actually a good thing. So you'd be a great pro wrestler.
Anywhere worth going is worth going in a good pair of boots. Find your perfect pair with Tecovas. Tecovas crafts quality Western boots for everyone. Whether you're a generational rancher, a lifelong cowboy, or you grew up in Baltimore. To first-time boot buyers, to long-time boot buyers, Tecova boots are handcrafted with over 200 meticulous steps for broken-in comfort right out of the box. I've been wearing these on stage, and I love them. I really feel like a man in boots. From cowhide and goat to exotic leathers like ostrich and Cayman. Whether it's their first pair or their 50th pair, Tecovas has plenty of stars to put under the trees. These boots are phenomenal. These are the Dean Black Cherry Crocodile, and I love them. I love them, and you know what I love about them is they don't go all the way up. I know maybe that's like a thing real cowboys would look at me, but I was like, I don't own like boot like a jean flare. I want to put them on with any pair of jeans that I have, and these are awesome. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be wearing these to the CMAs Wednesday, and yeah, you'll see me in these, hopefully. Hopefully my wife picked out the right outfit and I can wear these, but these are awesome. Right now, get 10% off at tecovas.com/Bert when you sign up for email and text. That's 10% off at tecovas.com/Bert. Tecovas.com/Bert. See site for details. Tecovas. Point your toes. Shoot. West. If you want to keep your finances under control this holiday season, you need to be using Monarch, rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or on your phone. And right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting, linking all your accounts in minutes and getting clear data visuals, smart categorizations of your spending, and real control over your money. Monarch isn't just another finance app. It's a tool real professionals and experts actually loved. Named Best Budgeting App of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. No more guessing, no more hiding, no more, I didn't realize what we were spending. That seems so much. My goal, I write my goals every year for my birthday. And this year's goal was know more about my money. I am one of those people that just doesn't pay attention to money. I don't want to know about money. It gives me anxiety. Typically, I've had so many people say this to me. They go, oh, that's my wife. Well, for whatever reason, that's Leanne, and I'm the one that doesn't want to know about money, and that's my goal. And Monarch is going to help me get there. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code Bertcast at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code Bertcast. So wait, what's your next movie going to be?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know. I think this opened some doors up that
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
This is, first of all, I was so jealous that you got to spend time with Cale. Cale's my favorite human being alive.
Cale and I bonded a lot over cigars. And Cale was really, he was very paternal, and he knew I wasn't from this world and wasn't going to baby me.
I'm going to take a picture and send it.
Yeah.
That we're together. Cale's going to fucking.
Just straight on, huh? Right in the mug. Yeah, but he didn't baby me, but also he was very open to collaboration, and he just was. I couldn't have asked for a better person to be around and be a team leader.
I always said this, he informed how I make projects.
Right.
Because his note to me was, I said, when we got to set in Serbia, I was like, I think I'm going to just not drink and just be healthy. And he was like, no. He was like, you may only get one chance to make a fucking movie.
Wow.
And he goes, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Fucking live in Serbia.
Yeah.
Have fun. And, really, honestly, he's like, you have money, spend it, have fun. And I look at that time in Serbia as my favorite time I'm almost now second because I had so much fun on the TV show. But I did the TV show the same way. I just, like, little things that I just was like when I went to do my TV show, I was like, yo, I need good coffee. I'm going to get a good coffee maker for my room.
Yeah.
I'm here 2 months. And that's a Cale mentality of like,
oh yeah,
you enjoy yourself. Like,
have to. You have to enjoy those spoils. And some people I refer to a lot if I'm dieting or getting ready for a big match, and maybe we're like a 5-week camp essentially. And this is more just concept of food training and getting there. I always have to have a light at the end of the tunnel. I have to have some of these little creature comforts.
Yes.
I understand people who don't have that, but for me, that's a release for me. Especially with on your build to a big match. Like WrestleMania is in Vegas this year, which is amazing. And it was in Vegas.
April 19th?
Yes.
I'm trying to fit it into my schedule.
I think, right? April 19th?
April 19th.
So yeah, but April, so last year we were in Vegas too. And what you see is when you have your team with you and you have your people with you and my whole family with me, they're really enjoying Vegas. And you're not. Mm-hmm. You're actually going to bed. You're doing your media. You're doing your rounds. You're hitting the gym. You're doing everything. You're getting ready for this fight. As even though there's that element of choreography to pro wrestling, it's still treated as you're building to this fight and looking better than the person across from you, basically. And I always need a little something, and I always try to tell that. Brandy's really good about understanding. My wife is really good about it's a need. It's not a hey. It would be nice if we need something on the tail end of this. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my mind. I want to tell you the story about Cale, though. Cigar.
Buddy, I could do a podcast about Cale.
So this was just my fun moment with Cale where I love cigars. I've been smoking cigars since I was 15. I've always wanted to be on the cover of Cigar Aficionado. I just love cigars. And my family, we've got the Tampa family who's Ebor, the hand rollers, all the great stuff. On the set, I was bringing cigars all the time. And I feel bad for whoever came into my trailer after me or, I was living, that was my thing. I had Cuban cigars. We were in Australia and I was telling everybody I wasn't being a snob about it. I'm like, hey, you cut it, little sliver there. You can punch it if you want. You light it. Sometimes they don't light. Sometimes the draw is bad. I wasn't trying to give them the hard gatekeeping. This is how you do it. This you got to toast the edge. I wasn't trying to give them that because I didn't want to scare them away from the ritual of it. So we're all on this boat, this yacht out in Darling Harbor, and there's the Opera House, and we're just having this good bonding moment as a cast. And I was just cigaring it up, and I was telling everybody, get another one. Don't worry, it's just a bad draw. Cutting it, you cut it wrong. No big deal. And I thought, I want to really loosen the regulations on cigars. And then Cale came and sat down, and I could just hear him on the other side of the table, you're doing it wrong. You got the whole thing here. Hand it over to me. And he's toasting the edges, and he was very big on the traditional way that you're supposed to go at a cigar. But it made my day because I was really going in on, you don't want to be like a cigar snob about it. You want everyone to enjoy this moment. But he's old school.
Cale is, for anyone that doesn't know, I'll explain Cale. Cale is white privilege. He is everything that you've ever thought white privilege was.
Wow.
He is a wild Republican. He gets on set and he brings a boombox into Video Village where he sits with one pant leg up and his feet up, and if he doesn't like a take, he'll go, no, come on. Well, come on. Why is he crying?
Cale might know somebody at Google because these images are great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
They're better than.
Yeah, but if you ever give yourself a search, you're like, man, I really wish that one would go away. This guy is killing it.
He is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
What a great Google, man.
By the way, he's like 6'5".
Yeah,
he's a big fucking guy.
But I think that's super beneficial because, hey, he meets a wrestler and there's no air of like,
no,
he's a big boy. He's a big giant himself.
He is and I'll give Cale his props. Pull up Cale's. Oh, Cale did my podcast. Oh, you might have heard Cale on my podcast. Cale did Dune.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He brought back Dune, and when you sit and when you hear stories of them at Dune, because they were in lockdown, and they had the COVID cafe.
Yeah. I mean,
by the way, I can say this now. Cale followed 0 regulations.
Oh man,
he was like, "COVID's not real. The cigarette smoke kills it. We just got to go to a bar and cigarette smoke."
Oh my gosh, cigarette smoke kills it. Wow.
I literally was tied to his side like a puppy. I had so much fun with that guy. Everything about him, he's large, but by the way, crazy gets his shit done. Like, I mean, he'd be in Serbia. He would wake up at 3 a.m. to start his Zoom meetings. He would have wine with you, but then call it at the right moment. Yeah. Be like, I got meetings all day. And he's a great producer.
He did Minecraft as well. His stuff
he did Minecraft.
He's making hits.
Yeah. I mean, he is. Yeah. He is one of my favorite guys.
I think you'll like Street Fighter for the fact that it's a period piece, but the period is the 90s. You know, like when they said it's a period piece, the 90s, we consider it. Yeah, I guess we do. It's a period now. You know, it's 1990s, right in the, if you had the cartridge, the Street Fighter 2 cartridge, it's right out of it. So if you saw all of us walking around just in daylight, civilian, you'd think, what are these people? But then in the frame, the way the director Katao put it, it's picture perfect. It's really, really sweet.
I sold Cale a script, and tell me if this isn't right up Cale's alley.
Yeah.
It was called Capitol Stormers.
Okay.
3 guys who stormed the Capitol.
Tell me about it.
Like, I'm in.
Were they reluctant? Were they all in? Was 2 of them really?
The 3 guys from Workaholics.
Okay.
and they end up saving Nancy Pelosi.
I have a famous. Then they did right.
Yeah, they saved her life.
They were maybe questionable in their choices there that day, but then they saved Nancy Pelosi.
Saved Nancy Pelosi.
This is a great story.
Yeah.
A real.
Right now, all I'm doing is thinking of the movie for you to star in, where I can pitch it. To
real
Cale
full circle moment here. Like, hey, we didn't come here for this, but we got to save Nancy.
Because you could make a movie with Cale right now.
So the Capitol riots were January 6th, right?
Yes.
So I don't know. This is actually relates to you. Go Big Show. We debuted the 2nd season on January 6th, and it lives in infamy, especially because I try not to be on social as much, but I still can get pretty gotten to about a moment here and there. But I put a GIF, however you want to pronounce it, of me in ring going like this, come on. And all I wrote was January 6th. And it's me doing that. And and I couldn't, because not enough people watched Go Big Show. I can't explain to them, no, it was a show that we were doing, and it really checks the box because there's a group of people that just is insistent on, like, that guy's clearly a Republican. Like, he's had a Trump hat before. He has a neck tat. He's from Georgia. Like, he's clearly, whereas my family is super moderate, fairly a lifetime liberal family. We've been all over the map, sure, but those people, there's no way I'm convincing them. I mean, it's the U.S. flag on the side of my neck. We're not. It would be a waste of my time to try and like, hey, well, I think a little differently than you perhaps perceive, but okay, But yeah,
I just took the political quiz to find out what I am.
Or what are you? Can you share? I don't mean to.
No. I can say it's what did I shared my results with you guys, right? I am.
Yeah.
It's in Birdie Boy. My results are, Oh, shit, there's so many fucking pictures.
I'm going to ask you a follow-up on your because I think there's a more interesting quiz to really get to the heart of you.
Ooh, here, this is even worse. This is my fucking DEXA scan.
Why do that? You don't need that.
You know why?
There's a limit to knowing.
I'm ambivalent right.
Ambivalent right?
Yeah.
So what's the other side? Like,
well, there's
angry, right? And ambivalent.
It starts getting a little aggressive after me.
Aggressive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very moderate, so that means I have no voice. Like, no voice.
You're in the middle. You'd probably be in the middle. So I'm just right in the middle. What pushes me right is the same stuff but guns. I like guns.
You're a gun guy?
Yeah. I like having them.
Have you ever seen Ken Burns' Civil War?
Of course.
Oh my gosh. I just saw Shane Gillis's take on Shelby Foote, which I didn't know other people watched Ken Burns' Civil War.
Oh.
I highly recommend Ken Burns' Civil War.
Is Shelby Foote,
he was one of the crazy, because of the talking heads they got for that documentary.
Yeah.
And according to Shane, he's just making up these stories about there was a general from the South. Like, he's just making up things. There's no documented evidence that this one would whistle in the trees and whoo, and it's just a wild, there he is, Shelby. But that's a real entertaining watch. If you got it in high school, sure, but to watch it as an adult, it's a really well done documentary.
I watched the Dust Bowl.
Oh, yes.
But
yes.
That one's fascinating to me because it is. I do have issues with climate, and that's where I think I'm a little more left.
Yeah, is
climate control. But it's even having said that, Rogan just had some climate guys on the other day where I'm like, wow, fuck. So that's why I think I'm always leaning one way or the other, depending. Like abortion, I go, if my daughters got pregnant, I would want them to keep it, but then I guess I could be talked into an abortion, but I want them to be able to get one. Yeah. You know, like, it's like you're a complicated man. I'm a complicated man. Hey,
we live in a complicated society, though.
This is how little I care about politics. Hey, what do you have of your dad's?
Like items?
Yeah. Like you were saying, you had inherited some guns. Like, did you guys keep like his trunks, his boots, like anything, like a robe?
We have trunks, we have boots, we have robes. The probably most valuable thing we have, my sister's kind of the custodian of all the goods, is we have his booking journals, which if you're, it would be like if you kept a journal on tour and said, this was the house in Des Moines, and this was the advance, and this was the merch, and this, you're a master of all your commercial elements. And his handwriting was super unique. And to see like Andre, Battle Royal, advertise next time, Ric Flair, Blackjack Mulligan, and see some of these numbers they were doing. This is a territory business. They're wrestling 7 days a week, essentially. And it's the Florida territory. Then there's the Crockett territory. From a wrestling historian standpoint, that's the most valuable thing we have, because you could see his mindset on who was here last time, who's coming next time. And then you'd see when they did double shots, things of that nature. His booking journals, if you're not a wrestling person, they're not a sexy thing to look at. Yeah. But to me, they're the most valuable thing. We lost a lot of his, and I don't want it back. There's all these people who always try to sell me my dad's stuff back. It's yours. If he sold it to you, it's yours. Yeah. But he, when he hit, hard times, no pun intended, when I was in high school and didn't want us to know, and we had a safe full of good old cowboy guns and cash, it was from selling his things. And this is well documented. He was just sitting in the living room. It's like a whole day went by where he just sold so many of his treasures off because 2 kids. Yeah. And didn't want us, we lived a high level of life, and he didn't want us to know we were essentially broke, and we weren't, because he made it so. So we have some things. I wish we had more. Often when I see someone has something, I feel like it's in the right hands with that person, actually. You were meant to have it. Yeah. I have probably the most valuable thing I have from him is, you remember how, old school, Cale seems like he'd be into something like this, handmade jewelry. Gold nugget jewelry. Yeah. Oh, wrestlers love some gold nugget jewelry. And he had a belt buckle that was made for him by a promoter named Paul Bosch. And that belt buckle said World Champ. And it had a TV in one corner, and it had a cauliflower ear in the other corner, 2 guys locking up. And he'd wear it. It was my dad was actually a bit of a cowboy in terms of he did quarter horsing, which is hilarious because he was near 300 pounds and they'd have to find the strongest, biggest horse to be his horse. And he was quite slow at it, but he was quarter horsing. And then see the title there, which is the big gold belt, the one in the middle.
Yeah.
I have the nameplate, which is actually this long standing. They didn't think it was made, but the jeweler who made it had printed it and wrote a receipt and stamped it. It was never on the title. Ric Flair was on it because he won it from Rick, and then he turned the title over real quick. So I don't think we ever got Dusty Rhodes screwed on. But for a photo shoot, historian guy named Conrad Thompson, wonderful man, he put it on the title for the first time and took some photos with. That's the big gold belt. And then the one on the left, I won that one as well, which is the 10 pounds of gold, the original NWA title.
Are you always searching for that one hoodie that you'll actually live in? I know I am. The one that feels just right on the couch, out on a hike, or on a plane. Well, I found mine, and it's on the way with Packa. And right now, it's the only one I'm going to reach for. I will remain shirtless until I get this thing. Packa makes performance apparel from alpaca fibers. By the way, I was one of the ground zero dudes of alpacas. I should maybe say that a different way. Packa makes performance apparel from alpaca fiber, one of the world's most sustainable natural fibers. Their best-selling hoodie is softer than cashmere, warmer than wool, and breathable. It's lightweight, but still cozy. Doesn't stretch out, doesn't pill, and somehow keeps me warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot. Basically, it adapts to wherever life takes you. This hoodie is built for real life. Thermo-regulating, odor-resistant, durable, and made to last. Each one is handcrafted in Peru by artisans who stitch their name into the tag, a personal signature of quality and care. And I am waiting on mine. I am in Nashville right now. Leanne flies in tomorrow. I told her it's cold. Bring my Packa. And she packed it in her pack. To grab your Packa hoodie and free pair of alpaca crew socks, head to go.packaapparel.com/Bertcast. And use my code Bertcast. That's go.packaapparel.com/Bertcast and enter code Bertcast. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be tough times for many. This November, BetterHelp is encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. Just as it can take a little courage to send that message or grab a cup of coffee with someone that you haven't seen in a while, reaching out for therapy can feel difficult too. But it's worth it. It is. And it's almost always leaves people wondering, why didn't I start this sooner? I always say therapy is like working out. And if you work out for 1 month full straight, you go, man, I wish I had started this 2 months ago. And therapies, trust me, it's like working out. I got into a fight with my daughter and my wife on the phone today, and all of us are going to talk about it in therapy. And that's great. We actually started laughing, and I go, you know what, Leanne, we'll talk about this in therapy. It's about, I don't want to tell you what it's about, but just know that it's nice to bookmark it and put a pin in it and go, we'll talk about this in therapy. And then you have a licensed therapist to sit down with you and help you work through just something that's BS in your life at that moment, but you can make it build to be so big. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist for yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Bert. That's betterhelp.com/Bert.
So here's my question, because you mentioned you're ambivalent, right?
Yeah.
I am very curious about this test. I'll tell you what tells me more about you, and I think you're gonna balk at this question. What's your what house would you be sorted into at Hogwarts? Do you know? I can guess.
Hey, Cody, the fact that you think I read those books,
buddy, you don't need to have read them. I can tell you right now who you are.
I've never even seen the movie.
I'll give you. You're a Hufflepuff. See?
Just shut up, Sandra.
He's a Hufflepuff.
I'm a Hufflepuff?
Yeah, you probably fall into the line of a little bit of Gryffindor is too. I'll break it.
So tell me, what are the houses?
I'll break it down in one word.
Okay.
Okay, Gryffindor is bravery, Ravenclaw is wit, Slytherin is ambition, Hufflepuff is loyalty.
Oh, I'm definitely a Hufflepuff.
You're a puff.
Yes.
Yeah, to the puffs. I'm a puff too.
I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken like that.
I don't know if that's broken to be loyal.
I am.
Yeah.
To a fault.
Oh, well, that's the part of being a Hufflepuff is you find yourself, I'm still loyal to these 3 or 4 dudes who haven't sent me a text in 6 months, and I'm still doing the check-in and looking at,
I just said, that's so interesting you just said that. I just said I'm going to stop texting people that don't reply to me.
Dude, go with, yes. Yes. So I'm done with it. I do a check-in on a group of guys who I was friends with when I was with AEW. I do a check-in. And at this point, I'm not your dad. Why am I checking in on you? We should be checking in on each other. There's no synergy in this. There's no, again, I'm not exactly, don't, if they're not giving it back, don't. But then.
You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked who they are.
But you'd
be stunned.
Here's, I bet you go through this process because this is a process I go through. I'll say, I'm not reaching out to them. And then I'll say, nah. I want to be hurt. I'll say, I want to invest. Even if they're not friends, I'm taking I'm going to reach out as their friend.
That's you're
a Hufflepuff.
This is the thing that it kills me is I watch everyone's special.
Yeah.
If your special comes out, I take a look at it. There's only one special I haven't watched that everyone's told me I should watch that I just haven't gotten around to.
Yeah.
But I text everyone. Hey man, great special.
Yeah.
If anyone posts anything, I always promote it. I always, like any of my friends, I always promote it. Put it in my stories. They don't even have to text me.
You're a friend.
Yeah. I say this in all honesty. No one does that for me. But I don't reach out to people. I don't go like, yo, I've got a new TV show coming out. Would you mind putting your stories? I don't do that. But I know for a fact that if my buddies have a show that's on Netflix or a special that's on Netflix or a special that's on YouTube that I see, I promote it. I always promote it. And I throw it in my stories. It takes no effort of mine to throw it in my stories. It doesn't fuck with my numbers. And if it did, I don't care. But no one ever does that for me. And I noticed that on my last special that fans do it. Fans will be like, Bert. Yeah. But my friends don't do it. So I was like, I'm done. I'm done with that.
Maybe I ask you this in terms of Hufflepuff to Hufflepuff. Do your friends maybe see you as so successful that they take it for granted that Bert, this is a house in Beverly Hills. You got a team of 30 people, nicest people I've ever met on a shoot who didn't balk at my absurd amount of people. And you're filming in every room.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful situation you have here. Did they just think Bert's got it?
I don't know. I tell you what. Rogan's special came out and I promoted it. I put it on my stories. And and he's got more money than anyone I know.
I get what you're doing, but maybe they look at you and just think he's got it.
Maybe they do.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. I forget people's perception of me.
Yeah.
It's like one of the things that I remember one time I was hanging out with like 4 legit friends.
Yeah.
And someone was like, casually goes, can you just give me $1 million?
Okay.
And I was like, no. And they're like, you have it.
Yeah, you're good for it.
And I was like, oh wait, how much money do they think I have?
Yeah.
Versus how much money do I actually have? Versus could I give them $1 million? And then I was with my buddy, a friend of mine's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And he's like a legit billionaire.
Yeah.
We went to his house and I said to the comics I was with, they were like, why couldn't he just give us $1 million? That theory is like so wild. But I remember them saying that to me, like, could you buy me like a Rolex?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, maybe they do think of me as different.
Yeah, no, they could look at you and say he's got it. I can tell you this: on the way to the WWE Championship, I felt like everyone in the industry, from every company, from every independent I'd ever done, every corner of the earth, talked to me every second of every day, watched every segment I was part of, rooted for it. It was very real, this climb to the top, you being a part of it, right? Then it happened, and then it happened again. So here you are, 2-time WWE champion, and here you've been presented by WWE leadership as one of the faces of the company. The moment the corporate Cody kind of became a thing, I don't hear from any of them. And I so badly wish I did, because internally, every segment, I don't want to just have my head above water. I want to excel.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm just treading water. Like, is this good? Am I growing, or have I plateaued? And I think maybe that's my fear.
Yeah.
Is this it? Or is there another chapter?
Oh, I've wondered if I've plateaued.
You haven't plateaued.
No, but I always wonder,
yeah.
So where does it go from here? Like I'm on my second arena tour. Where does it go? I've done movies. I'm doing a TV show. I've got 3 movies lined up. I got, I'm like, what? So what, like, am I cool with it just being this? Do I need something to challenge me?
You definitely will need something to challenge you, and you'll seek something to challenge you. That's your nature. But you know the saying, and this is my acting coach. I remember him telling me this years ago: mediocrity loves company. And when you want to be more, that sounds so pretentious saying it. I don't mean anybody's mediocrity, but not everybody is shooting for what you're shooting for. You know, you got a little Slytherin in you. There's a little ambition in there as well, and that's okay. That's okay. The hat's going to put you in puff. But that's okay. Like you're ambitious. But why? This is a question. Maybe you're just around the wrong people. Why not? You've never asked me to promote anything.
I'm never going to ask anyone to promote anything.
No, but that's the thing. Don't be afraid to put it out there.
No, but I did. Okay.
There's a difference between putting an X post in a group chat that everyone should look at and go, got it. Movie's out in 3 days. Say what a great job. Something, anything.
You also want people to promote it because they like it. Like that was my...
But now you're so complicated though.
Well,
you want them just to promote it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're busy.
Yeah.
We're busy. Like you said, you haven't seen one of your friends. Like you're wanting this authentic love.
Well, I've got it from a few people. Like I'll tell you right now, anything I've ever done, Joe Rogan has called me to say, how do I get you on you on the podcast? My first special, we did this End of the World podcast, and then the next day, the special was coming out the next day. He goes, come on, we'll get back on the podcast. We'll talk about the End of the World podcast. We'll promote the shit out of this. He has always been one of those guys to put you over. Like he is to consistently. And same with Tom. I think comedy's too big. There's too many comics.
Joe is all over my algorithm. I thought just what I find super interesting. I wonder if he likes pro wrestling, but what I always find super interesting about him is I don't know if obviously it's a byproduct from sitting there and talking to some of the most educated people on the planet. That can't be a bad thing. That can't be, at the end of the day, when you look at the knowledge you've obtained, that just seems like a sweet gig. Like the physicist, like Neil, a comedian. Like I saw him, I ran into him yesterday, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have questions. He just gets a good education sitting there and listening and having this fun conversation.
His podcast is, I remember hearing a story a long time ago, and I don't think I ever shared this with Joe, but I thought this was interesting, and this could not be true. Chris Rock, right before he did Bring the Pain, this best special, in my opinion, my favorite special. One of my favorite specials ever to be made. What's the name of the black dude, Colonel West? Cornel West. Cornel West said to him, hey man, why don't you come over on Sundays? We do this big dinner in the West Village with a bunch of some of the most prolific, profound, older black men. We just do a dinner and we all sit around and talk. You should come by and hang out. You don't have to talk, just hang out. Yeah. And so Chris Rock did that for a few Sundays, and just all of a sudden was like, I'm just hanging out with geniuses. I don't say a word. I know. And I just sit there. And I think that informed him on that's what I heard. That informed him to Bring the Pain. Yeah. Joe has consistently been the most curious dude.
Oh, that guy looks like a genius.
Oh yeah, I would love to meet him. I'm hoping I get next to him on a
Get him on that pod,
See, my podcast, I have to be interested in it. Yeah. And what I'm interested in is very limited. Yeah. If I got a physicist on here, I'd be like, I stopped listening. I watched the series Netflix did that you were in. Yeah. It was so fucking good.
Yeah, you told me.
It was
fun to run into you at that show. I was glad you liked it.
Oh, I mean, I love pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I love giggling. I love comedy.
Yeah.
I love music. That's it. I don't have a ton of interest the way Joe does. Joe could sit and talk to, he is the weirdest guy in that he
loves to chat.
He'll be like, he does this thing where he listens, like he actually physically listens.
Yeah.
Wait, why'd you say that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You reminded me, I feel like I wanted to shout these people out just because I'm thinking of the good people we have, not the ones who aren't promoting your specials and, in our lives. I get every now and then I'll be sitting on my bus and there'll be a Michael P.S. Hayes, there'll be a Mr. Paul Heyman, there's a Triple H, there's all these luminary figures who have done everything. And I think that's my favorite part of wrestling currently, is to be part of what they're discussing and to hear it, because they're discussing crowd psychology, they're discussing modern events and how they apply to this current. I don't know. I wanted to, because I was just thinking of being in, that's the only way we grow. You're talking about what's that next challenge. You got to find those people. We mentioned Cale. He's one.
I called Joe and I was like, yo, I'm going to be in Austin. I want to hang out because I miss being around him. His insights on whatever I'm doing stand-up wise or whatever I'm doing, is
that energy. Look at that.
Yeah.
You got to get that. You get your fix. You got to get that energy, man.
Yeah, I won't see Tom. Tom's in Communicado.
Tom is out? Tom just entertained, he interviewed The Undertaker.
I know.
Yeah.
Tom had a switch of wrestling.
Dude, my favorite thing about Tom, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, he really wanted to show us how big his balls were when I did your podcast with him, because I like to get there on time, and I know that's not everyone's thing, and I'm not judging. We're going to do it when we do it. But he showed up just about a good 7 minutes late. Nothing major. Pulled up in this incredible muscle car that he didn't even know the specs on. There was hey, Tom, what's this? And he had this unbelievable, watch on. I don't know if it was the pistachio or it was just some killer Rolex, and just really made it clear that here's my big giant Tom balls. Welcome to my pod, and come on. Come on. You got some people here with you? All right, come on. It was, I learned something. I'm always learning. I feel like I love politicking and the body language and the nature of just what is happening in this room.
Yeah.
And I got a lot from it, actually. I thought, because you told me when we were doing Go Big Show, you said you and Tom are a lot alike. And that's what I was looking at and going, yeah, I like that move.
You and Tom have.
I like his move.
Similar interests.
Yeah, he was a really wonderful. That was fun to do.
It was really fun to watch. I'm flaking on names. Not Triple H, the guy that one of the CEOs of WWE.
Nick Khan?
Is it Nick? Good looking dude, great head of hair.
It could be Nick Khan. He's definitely good looking dude with a great head of hair. But we got a bunch of those right now.
I forget who it was.
Well, let's say it's Nick.
Okay.
We
pull up Nick Khan and I'll tell you. It's not Nick.
I don't know. Nick is another one. How do these people get these Google pictures?
Yeah, Jesus.
What the? Nick's Google is fire.
So,
what am I doing?
Tom obviously shits on pro wrestling.
Yes.
And then we go to a Monday Night Raw in, I think, Minneapolis. And we have a great moment, hang out, before the match and talking to Triple H. I think maybe Triple H is there. Or maybe he wasn't out there. I forget. But we were talking with this guy, and then they're like, yo, we're going to do a promo.
Oh, look at me. Put me right in the center.
That's a great pick.
Man, Daddy got that center.
That's a great pick.
That's a Tom move right there.
Yeah.
Nobody told you to stand in the center. You just did. And it's like, oh, I guess I'll go over here.
And they're like, yo, we're going to cut a promo where, Tom, you're going to promote your special or whatever you're promoting. And then your new TV show. And then say, I said some weird things about, whatever.
Yeah, came after us.
And they did it. And then I got chest slapped. And then they were like, came out and they're like, hey, we need a little more. And Tom's like, what? And I know Tom so well. Now, I had just gotten slapped. And every time we did this promo, I was getting slapped in the chest.
The old chop.
So I'm like, hey, hang on. Let me help negotiate this. Because I know Tom right now is getting on his heels. And I know you guys have people in the booth going, we need it set a certain way.
Yeah.
And And I watched that all break down. But then my favorite part of that was watching Tom fall in love with wrestling.
That's great.
It was such a fun.
Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah, he was on a roll. I was sad I wasn't there that day you were there. But I was also glad you guys got to kind of meet the crew and look at you. Warbeard, Toddy there.
It wasn't that bad.
You were just getting a little light chop.
That was very light, but it was so bad.
Well, I mean, the rule, you ever chop somebody, the rule is just do it above the nipple. If you chop somebody, I used to wrestle this one legend, and I'm not going to name his name, who would put me in the corner and just throw his head all around. Sometimes they were across the chest. Sometimes they were across the face. Sometimes it was like a pink belly, like we were in elementary school. And it was one of those. It was a luminary figure. So you'd always have to come back. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
It's great. It was great. Thanks.
I look at stand-up, and stand-up's changed so much. A guy like Andrew Schultz is the definition of what stand-up is today.
Yeah.
In that he is a more of a media magnet, and like that he goes out to promote a special. He goes to the Wall Street Journal, and he goes all over. Whereas comedy, when I started 20 years ago, no comic was that. No comic had that gumption or that ambition. And I'm sure he would have succeeded because he's funny then.
Yeah.
But to see that now, I look at like comics when I started that I go, oh, if that person had started, if Dane Cook had started today, he'd be a monster because he was doing what we're all doing when it was so hard to do.
Difficult to do. I mean, there wasn't near as many platforms.
Yeah.
Not as many self-starters and teams that you could build.
Who would be big in wrestling when you look back and you go, God, man, if
they had the tools.
Or even vice versa, where you look at like someone who goes, God, man, he would have been great back in the day.
Oh, man. I mean, well, one guy who's, we say his name and he appears, and that's Joe Hendry, who's not even working for WWE. He works for TNA. He appeared on WrestleMania solely because the crowd was calling for it. Joe is a very interesting story. I think you've actually met Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Ethan Page is another. We have Chelsea Green's another one. There are people like that no matter what they're handed, they're going to promote it. They're going to survive. They're going to make it better. They're not going to do it out of spite. They would have survived and thrived because, believe it or not, Ric Flair, during his prolific decades-long run, was somebody. He didn't have all of this, didn't have these platforms, but he had his own. He was digging. He was finding. He saw the artistic success to it, and he could do it better than anybody. But like Andrew Schultz, you're talking about the commercial success of it. He knew the lanes to go to. So he was ahead of his time in terms of reaching out. Maybe he had some friends in the media, and this is not a nefarious thing. You know, he had friendly people in his pocket, and it was smart. So it's Triple H we call Triple H the game. Wrestling is a game, and it's shocking because we're playing with such silly, we're dressed up as superheroes, and
but it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
But one of the things I explain this to young comics all the time, and I go, I will never shit on another comic who can sell a ticket.
Yeah.
Because selling a ticket is so difficult. I remember when they didn't care. And ambivalence is like so much worse than hate, and it's so much worse than
ambivalent right, sir.
Yep.
Sir,
I am the ambivalent right. Yeah, I'm the worst. But it's like ambivalence in wrestling is a death sentence.
You was talking about selling a ticket. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this before, but I've ever said this to you. You'd say you did killer set and you met with all your fans and something. Has anyone ever said to you something like, "Oh man, you made a fan for life," or you got a customer for life? Somebody said that to you about what you did. I think that's what's special. You're talking about these people and Andrew being a grinder and commercial and knowing those ins and outs, but he's also authentic and you're authentic. To me, I had an old timer tell me once, because I would do this thing. WWE hated it at first. Now they try to cleverly avoid me doing it. And they also don't mind when I do it, though. I will stay out there all night. Cameras are off. I'll walk the whole round. I'll go down the aisle. I'll go back. Yeah. I'll stay out there all night. And I remember one time somebody telling me, well, that's important. You made a fan for life. You sold a ticket for life. And even though I respected them a great deal, I didn't say this to them. I knew that's the difference between you and me. I wasn't trying to make a fan for life. Maybe I did. Maybe that's the byproduct of it. But there's a difference between selling hope and experience and selling a ticket. Yeah. And I think look at this. That's an experience, brother. You sell, your fans get an experience. Your fans who come back to see you, they get a sense of you're frequent for them. You're consistent for them. You're a part of their life.
I just told someone I'd never performed in Toronto.
Yeah.
At the Scotiabank Arena, and I looked at that and I was like, oh, I guess I did.
It looks like you did the Tops Off World Tour there in Scotiabank.
Yeah. I just said that. I was like, they're like, yo, Shane Gillis broke the attendance record. And I was like, that's crazy. I go, man, I haven't even performed there. And they're like, you haven't performed in Toronto? And I said, no, I definitely haven't. And I definitely haven't done the Scotiabank Arena. That's like a huge goal of mine.
Scotiabank was formerly Air Canada Center, I think. Could be, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's the biggest in this whole game of ticket selling is it's like a bad salesman. When you're just there to sell and the content isn't king, you're not going to be able, you only sell one time. I remember my time away from WWE. I remember thinking, these houses are great. DC, 13,000 people. But what's it going to be next time? Guys, we're going to come back. What's it going to be next time? It doesn't mean, there'll be a drop, sure, but how much will we retain? And to me, I'd rather go down swinging on not trying to sell a ticket versus let me sell them an experience.
It's so funny. I at a certain point, meet and greets are just, they're so difficult.
Yeah.
And so, but I started doing them again where I'd go out into the audience and I'd go and try to connect with fans again. But I needed it for me because I think I had lost vision of who I was talking to, you know?
Man, that pulls on, because I just talked to my buddy, one of them was a buddy who will not just me message him, will message me. And I said, I'm really lost, man. I feel like I'm losing ground. I feel like I'm carrying this and I want to be the best champion there ever was, but am I doing it? And I said, be honest with me. He said, you need to start doing the stuff with the people again, whether that's community events or whether that's, you need to start doing that. That was your bread and butter. That was your thing. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter but I feel I need it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a sickness. Maybe that's an addiction. Like I need maybe but that's the industry. They come to see you, you see them, you connect.
Yeah.
You have a moment, you tell your jokes, they laugh. You're in that moment together.
It's you forget the thing. Yes, maybe this is a broken part of me, but the thing sometimes you need to hear the story of, yo, I can't believe I'm meeting you. You don't understand. I was in this Great Depression, and then all of a sudden you pulled me out of it, and you're like, oh, thank God. There was a mom that came up. I'm not to give myself flowers or anything, but I did this.
Give yourself some flowers, buddy.
I was in Rockford, and I was like, I'm going to go and do a meet and greet. Leanne was like, you just did an arena, and you can't go out. And I said, yeah, I can. I can. I don't think anyone's going to try to kill me. I think I'm fucking going to be fine. Have some security around. I'll just go out. And we went out, and you do it, and you go, well, I mean, I forgot who they are. And then this woman came up, and she said, my son was in an accident, and the first noise he made was when he saw your special. First noise.
Wow.
And then you're like, wow. And then I started doing something crazy. This is wild. Go to when the doors open. Just go to see who gets there first.
Yeah.
That's the fucking fan. The person that shows up at 6:00 for when doors open.
Oh, yeah.
Go and stand with them and just talk to them, and you'll find, I would say this to every comic out there, you'll find they don't have as much money as you think they have.
Yeah.
They're putting a lot of the money that they earn in a week to spend it with you. And I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. Cena is really big on that exact thing. He'd be sitting by the monitor at doors, and I think a lot of people always thought he was counting shirts, his shirts, and he was doing more than that. He was seeing who was going to react to him that night, who was there they needed it.
Yeah.
They needed it. They put their money in. Please give me something back. And not everyone can do that. But I always loved watching him watch them. Just to see, okay, there they are. And then you could almost see in a promo if he eyed over at somebody. In a big arena, you can't see everybody. But if you it's nice. I always go up on the post, and I've added, now I touch my ass because my ass is getting huge, by the way, Bert. I don't know if you know this. Like, I have this hamstring routine that I've been doing with legs and straps and Pilates, and just like.
Are you being serious?
Yes, like legit. So it's
my ass has gone away.
So get in the Pilates game, man. Legs and straps. I don't know what it is, but I'm going like Cardi B. I'm going Cody B. I climb up on the buckle because people are noticing. The social is real big to find the most ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Noticing these suits are getting a little tight, and a lot of see there. Yeah, I mean that's my actual. Yeah, it's everywhere. I don't know. This is a hell of a Google search here, but. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, but when I get up there and do that, that's my favorite moment because no matter how intense that segment might be, no matter what I need to deliver, no matter what promo or my opponent or what stakes are at, I get 30 seconds tops to look around and see the sign that says, American Nightmare Cody, or I came here for, and just so I can clock them.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh. Just because I need them to know. It's like you said, you need it. We need it. I think that's broken. We need it too.
Yeah.
Right, guys? We need it too. So, oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Bro, my Hufflepuff brother, dude.
I know.
I'm so like.
I gotta start reading.
No, you don't. I mean, you want me to walk you through it?
He gets put in the closet or something?
No, he's a wizard.
That's
you know
it?
what I'm saying? Harry's a wizard. And I'm going to be honest, Dumbledore's a bit of as a mentory, paternal figure, kind of made some shady choices along the road. Voldemort's the big bad, but he had a hell of a story too. You can see some humanization and all that. In the end, Harry and his friends, they go to high school. They have normal high school experiences. They fall in love. They do some Avada Kedavras and some, Wingardium Leviosas, and they call it a day.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, you'll love it.
That's great.
Yeah, honestly, this is gonna. If you just want to start where it gets like when the boys become men, just start with Goblet of Fire. That's where the boys become men.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, every Harry Potter fan right now is furious at my outlook. Goblet of Fire. That's where the boys become men.
And hang on, these are books too, right?
Yeah, they're books. Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't think you're gonna read that book.
Well, the Goblet of Fire.
And I'm not saying you can't read it. I'm just saying I don't think you're going to read Goblet of Fire. But you watch Goblet of Fire, it's where the boys become men.
For real?
Yeah, that's where young adults, I guess, kids.
I got a flight tomorrow morning. I would.
Dude, watch some Goblet of Fire.
Harry Potter's pretty good. Like
Harry Potter is outstanding, which I don't understand why they're remaking it. But also, I'm going to watch them.
They're remaking it?
Yeah, they're doing a series, new cast and everything. But I'm a mark for it. So I'm going to, why are we doing it? But I will literally be.
Is that common in wrestling? It feels like everyone's got it feels like it's a bunch of grown men that are in the best physical condition of their lives that all have like a secret nerd.
Like fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got brothers who like Warhammer and stuff.
Yeah.
Or painting them little figures and stuff. That's where I draw the line. That's I think there's an aspect because we do fantasy. We really like fantasy. And I think back in the day you had a lot of cowboy types that would, pretend they weren't into things of that nature, but most wrestlers I know today that's the place they like to go. And we're talking your Star Wars fandom, your Lord of the Rings fandom, your Harry fandom, the real immersive fantasy.
Top 5 things that are great to get lost in fantasy wise.
Top 5?
Like what are your favorite things where you go, oh, I'm disappearing?
Oh, Star Wars is going to be number 1 for me. I went on a whole rant about how Last Jedi is like a wrestling movie and why I like Last Jedi. And I'll spare you the rant. No, but I'll give you a little bit of it.
Please give me a taste.
So all these people go see Last Jedi and Mark Hamill's an old dude. He's done it. He was already Luke Skywalker, right? Mark Hamill's an old dude. And I don't know what they expected. They expected this guy to have like an 8-pack and still be flipping around and be this master Jedi. But to me, it reminded me so much of wrestling when we bring back an old wrestler. Don't expect him to be what he was. There's a specialness in being old. There's a specialness in having a difficult life. I mean, Luke Skywalker is poorly trained. Obi goes down quick. Yoda's out after a movie. He's not getting the full temple experience, you know? So he made some mistakes along the way, and then he's this broken, beautiful old man who's got one good punch left in him. And just the way they tell this story, and I think I'm validated by the movie that followed it, but the way they tell the story, I think it's a beautiful story. It just reminds me of wrestling. And it reminds me a lot, I'm not going to get emotional here, but it reminds me a lot of my dad. Like any wrestler that they wanted you to, we got him tonight. And like, maybe they just got that one move in him, you know? Don't ask too much. They already gave you enough, right? Because I loathe nostalgia. I loathe it. We got to do it. Nostalgia is too easy to fall back on. We have to do it. The new people have to do it. Otherwise, we're just rehashing the same shit. I have no clue why I've gone on to this Last Jedi. I'll give you your top 5. All right.
No. I love this.
Last Jedi.
I loathe nostalgia.
I loathe it because it's too easy. It doesn't mean it's not amazing.
It's never going to be.
So I'll give you.
It's never going to be. Can I just double down on this? I loathe nostalgia.
Yeah.
Leanne one time, this is one of my favorite memories in the world. We'd been dating for maybe like 6 months, maybe. And we go to her, I meet her dad for the first time. We go down and we go out to the lake house, and Leanne's got a very wildness about her. She likes fast things, and she likes, And so she says, catch me on the jet ski, on the Wave Runner. And I'm chasing her. She's going entirely too fast for me. And she's flying through like, you know those lakes in Georgia where they're built, they dam up a river. And all of a sudden it's a man-made lake.
Yeah.
And it goes through like coves.
Yeah.
And she's hauling ass, and and it starts to rain, and I'm afraid of lightning. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Who am I dating? And then I finally catch up to her, and she's naked in the water.
Okay.
And she's swimming in a hole, like it's this big hole where trees are all around. She's like, take your clothes off, get in. And I'm like, I'm not getting fucking naked. She's like, take your clothes off. So I get naked, and then we end up having the greatest sex I've ever had in my life on a Wave Runner. We're balancing. Cut to probably 15 years later, I say to her, hey, fuck, catch me on the Wave Runner.
Yes.
She's like, huh? Okay. And we start going, and then she realizes what I'm doing. And she goes, no. I said, what? She goes, hey.
Oh, man.
We're not those people anymore.
Yeah, it was a moment.
Look, it's a moment. And don't ruin that moment by 2 fat fucks trying to fuck on a jet ski. She goes, it'll ruin that beautiful moment, because you'll never remember that moment. You'll just remember when you were like, ow, I think that's a hernia.
The moment.
But when you said I loathe nostalgia, it'll never be as good as the first time I heard NWA smoking a Marlboro Red in my Fox with Spencer, Kamen, Allen, and I'm just those, and you got to let it go.
Yeah. I'll give you a great example in wrestling of nostalgia that showed The Rock comes back before WrestleMania 40. He could be The Rock any day of the week. We love The Rock. We know all the sayings, and it doesn't matter what you say. If you smell what The Rock is, everything, we're ready for it. But he was challenged in a way that most older wrestlers wouldn't take the challenge. And he created a completely new character with the final boss for himself that now we've only kind of scratched the surface on what he can do, even if he doesn't do anything. His last chapter was unlike the other chapters he presented. And to me, nostalgia is just too easy. It's just too easy. I lose a little bit of my soul every night if I do a bionic elbow. Now, part of it's like, I love it. They're going to react to it. It's Dusty's thing. Yeah. But I shave a little bit of me off every time I do it. And I never would tell anybody this, because I'm playing someone else's song. Right. And again, this is like a deeper out, but I'm a big fan on, let's try it ourselves. Yeah. Let's 10 years from now, maybe time will be nice to, hey, look, they tried this. I'm a fan of that.
Why is wrestling better to me when I rewatch it?
I mean, are you going from seeing it live to then watching it on the broadcast?
So I have no idea why.
Yeah.
But I was at the match, I guess, where I can't remember what match it was. I think where Heyman, or maybe I watched it live.
Yeah.
Where Heyman turned on CM Punk for
was this WrestleMania this year?
For Seth Rollins.
Yeah, this was WrestleMania this year. Night one.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it live, But then when I watch it
on TV
again, I watched it on and then I watch it again.
Yeah.
When I watch it later, after stories have developed bigger, it's richer to me. Does that make sense?
Well, one of the things that for sure it's richer, but also wrestling has this benefit that I feel like very few things also share is you get a live experience, the live crowd. I'm a big live crowd guy, and that was how Cena trained me. The live audience. Don't make just a TV show. Your live audience. But they get a different experience from when you watch it on TV. And of course, the feeling you had when you watch it, and then to connect with it. And then you're going to meet with him later today, and you're going to have this moment, the equity that it brings. But one of the reasons that it's so good when on a rewatch is commentary. Commentary is so undervalued. And you hear about these ESPN guys making massive for their commentary. And there's wrestling. Michael Cole has been the soundtrack of my life. Jim Ross was a soundtrack of my life. Tony Schiavone was my dad's life. Those are so valuable to tell your story because I'm telling a story physically. But Michael knows to tell this story to those who are just now jumping in. First time they make it us, we calling it. I think they're getting ready to take me to the airport.
Are they?
But
okay.
I want to give you my top five because
top five.
I only get, so I'll give it to you real quick. Star Wars, easy. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, X-Men.
Okay.
For me, especially with the 98 series returning, and Star Trek. Those are my fantasies.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my top five. I can't say they're the top five for everybody, but those are my repeats on the fantasy side of it,
Wow.
And the first fantasy novel I liked, which is the greatest selling novel of all time, is Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I didn't realize, after you watch the Coppola version, which is amazing. Gary Oldman's unreal in it, but that's some great.
What's our next movie for you? What's our movie for you?
Well, I'm going to pass on the January 6th movie.
I bet I can get a green light from Cale right now.
No, I'm positive this movie can be made. And I think sometimes that's the danger and the power of I'm positive. What could be our next story? Right? What is
I don't know. I'm going to start a group text with Cale.
You're thinking movie, and from the story I've heard today, I think there's probably a nice little independent film in this actually.
Oh,
about friendship, because I've learned a lot here from this. Your friends.
All I need is if I can get $5 million from Cale.
Are you asking for $5 million right now?
I'm going to ask for $5 million.
Remember how you felt about that guy asking you for $1 million?
Yeah, but it's Cale. It's different.
It's different. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. I'll call Mary right now.
What's the pitch, though?
Don't worry about it. We'll come up with the pitch.
And what's the pitch?
He just texted me, yes, my favorite guy. Why the fuck wouldn't Cale answer a fucking FaceTime?
Probably not everyone wants to,
here we go.
FaceTime. Hey. Hey.
What the hell?
How are you?
I'm back down in Australia, my friend.
Oh, man. Are you getting ready to do that rap party?
I came back for the rap party. Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
One thing I wanted to point out, Cale, have you ever Googled yourself?
Not in a while.
Your Google is great. All the photos are awesome.
The photos are incredible.
You have great Google photos.
Cale, I'm going to cut to the chase. Okay? Cody and I have a movie we want to star in. We want to make. All we need is $5 million. $5 million. I can get Netflix to put it on Netflix. All I need is $5 million. Can I get $5 million?
We can find you $5 million.
Wow!
I told you. You're gonna love the idea. It's like Capitol Stormers, but a buddy comedy.
Yeah. I passed on Capitol Stormers.
I wonder if that was where you're going.
Yeah. No.
I passed.
You're gonna love it, Cale. It's about this. It's about this kid who grew up in Augusta, Georgia, and
yeah, it's a real.
I fucking. All right, I gotta let Cody go to the airport. I'm gonna send a group text. $5 million's all we need.
Yep.
All right, get us on a chain. Let's figure some shit out.
All right.
It's good to see you, Bert.
It's good to see you, buddy. I miss you.
Cody, love you, bud.
My man, love you. Thank you so much.
He is everything that's right and wrong with Hollywood. He is my favorite human being alive, and I'm so jealous you got to work with him. I cannot wait to see this movie. I cannot wait.
I think you're going to be really...
I'm going to be
When I felt very when I walked on set, and Guile has the hair, and I felt very much that I even didn't like the stunt double having the same look, because I felt that this is me. This is I want to fit this every second, and not just in like a methody way. I just want to be riffing as this Guile individual. I don't know if there's like a little Ron Swanson, if there's a little Chet from Weird Science.
Yeah.
You know, if there's like this alpha, like, because what is Guile? You know, this military American family man, but it's really basic, the knowledge we have from him outside the anime and the lore and the books and the comics, the Odon comics and stuff. But I'm excited for it.
WrestleMania, April 19th. I want to go to that. I want to go to that. And the Survivor Series, November 29th in San Diego, Costa Mesa.
No spoilers, but maybe the greatest team ever assembled. Yeah.
Dude, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're my friend.
Yeah, I am happy that I'm your friend, but please let me know if there's something that needs to be promoted. We got you.
Oh, I love you, Cody. I love you.
This was fun.
This is a blast.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.